Hi and welcome back to part 2. I've come away from this, looked at it again, and I feel refreshed and ready to finish what we were doing. I've gone ahead and tried it a little bit, so I do apologise. I'm just going to undo on this one here to see what I did to fix it. Right, so looking at this news article extension, some of the things that I hadn't finished on this, well, I've neatened up a few things actually. So if we just Control Y, I got an example of one that I've already done before, a to news article model there. Anyway, so I use that to help me. So I've got the image URL being set in a nicer way now rather than an if statement. I'm just doing it with an inline sort of if. One of the problems I was having was I wasn't instantiating the article model. So I didn't do inside the if model equals new news article. So I hadn't done that. So that was one of the problems that I was facing. So I'm getting the page title, the title, the intro, image URL, and the article date. I hadn't got an article date on the model, so I've added the article date on there because that's pretty key for ordering and things like that. So I've added that to the model, and now I'm getting that here. So just for neatness, I'm going to put this URL at the end, just because I think it looks neater. So at the end of setting all those properties, set the URL. So that was on there. Then so that was the news article. So I've added the article date as a date time property. And if we go into the other screens, so news list, fine. Oh, if we go to home, where I was calling this render action on home, I had it like this. So if I undo, I had it like that, which was wrong. It needed to be two strings separated by a comma. So notice the quote marks around the control, the action name, and then a comma, then quote marks around the controller name without the word controller on it. So that's sorted that out as well. So I think we can give it a build. Now I do believe it's going to have an error. And I wanted to show you the error that I'm getting so that you can see what it is, and I think it will be this error here about news article. So I'll just give it a refresh again. So I did a rebuild, and now I'm just loading the page, and let's just see the error. Yeah, so it's complaining about this news article. So if you get this error, news article is an ambiguous reference. I was like, well, why? Between umbraco.web, published content models.news article, and ELL. So if you ever have this problem, what this is referring to is the models builder. Models builder is something in Umbraco which is quite good, but it's basically generates models based on your data types in your document types in Umbraco. Now we're not using that for our models. We're doing it separately. So what we can do is we can tell it, well, we can, an easy way to do this is just to change our class name for news article to be something that isn't the same as the document type. So as our document type was called news article, logically the generated model is also called news article. So all I need to do is change this to be news article model. And then watch for the error list, because everything that's referring to news article now is going to be crying about it. So we can just update those references to news article to be news article model. And then there we go. So list of news article. So let's just fix the other errors. If I fix this one, I think we'll find that that other error will go now. Yeah, so it's gone. So that's fixed that. So let's give that another build. So hopefully you understand there there are generated models based on the document types, and to avoid that being a conflict in terms of the class name, with it being ambiguous, I've just changed this class model name to be something else. I've done a build, now I'm going to refresh, and hopefully it will render our one news article. That's what we're hoping for. Yep. So it's cannot convert type ell.models.newsArticleModel to Umbraco.web published content model. Now I know what I've done. On the view, I've left it as news article. So if we go back to the spotlight, so no, it's not that. Where is it complaining about this? So it is complaining about spotlight, and it is on line 13. Oh, right, so it's just looking for news article when it's actually news article model. Give that a build. So actually, in theory, I probably could have got away with doing it a bit differently, maybe using the models builder. But hey ho, that's for another video. Let's give this a refresh now. Hopefully it won't complain. Oh, we've got another error. We like our errors today. Cannot bind source type Umbraco web models to this. So what I'm doing is I'm still calling the spotlight content as it was before the partial. So we don't want that anymore. We want it to be called with the render action rather than just the render partial. So it's basically like a duplication. I've left that in for some reason. Delete that line, and for neatness, delete the spaces around it. And I don't know why, but it's tabbed across. So let's refresh the page again. Come on. So I didn't need to do a build there because it was using a view. It's because I was editing within the view, it doesn't rebuild, so that's fine. So I love lashes, bit of a description, our services, news, we've got a news item, we've got this here saying not set up, we'll do later, so we can have a look at doing that in a minute. May as well, because this is a part 2 video. Not set up yet, we'll do. Right, so, and that will click through to the news article page, and the news article page works. We've got the title here, we've got that there, and we've got that there. So that's the date of the article. So one thing we need to do on the controller, news controller, we want to make sure that it's ordered descending, which it is. What else do we want to do? So yeah, let's sort out this when I was saying about the meta description and things like that. So let's go to codeshare.co.uk and let's have a look for SEO. How to optimize your website for search engines, SEO in Umbraco. So I did a video, I hope it doesn't start playing yet. So when you're on your website, you want to add these sort of things. So you want to add a description, a meta description, meta keywords, meta author, things like that. So what we can do in Umbraco is to add them to the document types. So I'm going to create a new document type composition, a composition document type that is going to be called, I'm going to call it metadata. And I'm going to call the tab, metadata controls first of all, and I'm going to call the tab metadata. And all I'm going to add to this are, I think, 3 fields for now. So meta name, enter the meta name. If left blank, it will use the page name. Add the editor, reuse, and so I'm just going to reuse a text string for that one. Submit. Add a property, this will be meta description. This will be enter the meta description. This is what shows up in Google, etc. So I'm going to do reuse text area and submit. I won't make it mandatory. I'll just say, actually, I'll just say if left blank, we'll use the page name again. Just so there's something in there. And then finally, we want the meta keywords. So enter the meta keywords. I think they say lately that meta keywords isn't really a big thing to do with search engine optimization. Doesn't really pay that much attention to it. So I don't know, I always put it on. This is used for search engine optimization. So we'll just add an editor, and I like to use the tags editor for this. So I've added those three, and then I want to, on my where do I want? I want it on all of my pages, really. So compositions, and I will just pick metadata controls, submit and save. So that's on my content one. I'm going to do the same on all of them, really. Compositions, metadata, submit and save. Newslink. So I'm doing it on all of them, apart from the pretty link, because I don't need that. News list, I suppose I should make this the same as a content one. So that's everything apart from the third one and the last three, sort of. So I'm just going to do that. News list, everything apart from the third one and sort of the last, sort of the last three. The other thing that I need to do is just do a reorder on metadata, because it's quite far forward. That could be a 9. Save that. This is the sort of thing you have at the back of your list of tabs. So if we go into home now, then we should see this on here. So metadata, brilliant. So if we now go to, say, our news article, because I've added those properties, if we go back to the news section and then on news item 1 and we go to metadata, I can put something in here. So this is the description for this item. Save and publish. And in theory, on the news list page, we should see that in the listing. So instead of that "this is not set up" message, it'll actually pull it through, which it has done. This is the description for this item. And also what we can do is we can click on this, go into it and pick an image, submit that and save. Now we can render that image as well. Brilliant. We've got an image, we've got the title, description, the link through, all of that jazz. It's all coming together now. So I'm glad that I've come back to this and done this. So let's just add another couple of news articles. So I'm going to do news item 2. Main image. So this is another news item. And then choose an article date. We'll do it on the 27th. Blah de blah. Subtitle. This is the subtitle. And then enter a link here if you want to show a link under the title. No, I don't. Image list, metadata. So this is the description. Is that bothering anyone? That spelling of this with a capital H. It's bothering me, but I was wondering if it's bothering you more. this is the description for item 2. Oh yeah, just to show you the tags, so we can say I love lashes. Look, so it's got those meta properties, and then you can just close those. And when they do get rendered, when we do render those in a minute, they show up as comma separated, which is quite good. I love and lashes. Right. Anyway, let's have a look, see on the news list page. Yes, the second item's in there. Brilliant. And it's actually, because of the dating order, that one's showing up there, then that one. And if we wanted to, we could put the date on here. It might be better inside the listing. So let's add the date. So where we've got article intro, I might just put the date there as well. So do p at article date to string, and I'll just do dd mmm. Might leave it at that. Oh, and then y. 27th of September, and maybe I'll make it strong as well. Yeah. So we've got a news item on this date and blah blah blah. So that's good, and that'll just carry on. Now, what we want to do is we want to test that is the case, that on the home page it only shows the top 3, and then on the news page it just carries on. News 3, I'm not changing that, I can't be bothered. Yeah. Submit that, blah blah blah. And then metadata, blah 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 blah. And the reason why I'm using this meta description for that preview text or the intro is to force you to make your site optimized for search engines. So that's why I'm doing that. Oops, content, hello, you don't have an article date, sorry about that. Let's make this one go older. Right, give it a refresh. We should have 3 articles now. Yes, this has appeared, and because it's older, it's actually the same on the same day as that one. I'll just change it. I'll change it to be 13th. Again, these will probably be the day that you actually publish it. Right, so that's news, and that doesn't look great. News and then news. So I could change this to be, say, latest news or something like that, perhaps. I don't know. Let's just make that say latest news. So then you're on the news page, but this is the latest news. Anyway, that's done. So what do we want to do now? We want to make sure we've got those. Oh yeah, we want to check the home page is only showing 3. So the way to make sure that that is the case is to add an extra one and then hope that that doesn't show it. So news 4, and we can go like this. Submit that. So number 4. Article date, and I'm going to make this one really a lot older, so it forces it to be at the bottom of the list, which should mean that this one doesn't show up at all on the home page, and I didn't put anything in here. Let's give that a refresh. So on news, I don't want it to translate my gibberish. Right, so on news we do have the 4 items on news. Let's have a look on the home page. Home. Come on, does it work? Please work. Right, so we want to see 3 items. Okay, latest news, 1, 2, 3, and a link to view all news. That is good. So now we're getting somewhere. So that's done in my eyes. So just to finish this off, I'm just going to show you how to add the meta descriptions and that to your page. So if we go to codeshare.co.uk and we go view page source, and we have a look at this, we see we've got meta name, name. So that is the meta name one that comes through. Then the description, code examples, blah 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 blah, and then the keywords. So I'm just going to cheat and nick what I did for that. Partial views, metadata. So let's just take this. I'm not going to take the browser title, I don't need that. I'm just going to take these three. For this episode, this is relevant. We go. Actually, what we could do with here is just putting it into a separate partial view. So I'm going to create one in site layout, do add view as a partial view. I'm going to call it underscore metadata. Create it as a partial view, yes. And with this series, this whole series, it's been more dynamic with Umbraco rather than being fixed and structured. I think you'll probably agree. So it's using the flexibility of Umbraco rather than a more strict MVC approach. So I need to, I'm using current page, shouldn't be using that. Model.content. Actually, we'll do the Umbraco field thing again. Let's just, we'll just do that now. So Umbraco.field. Meta name. So string s meta name equals that. So I need to just do @inherits for this to allow me to use the Umbraco specific things, and I'm just going to say Umbraco view page. Just leave it at that. It doesn't need a model. So Umbraco field and then alt. I won't do an alt for now. I'll just do meta name. It doesn't like that for a moment, for some reason, but we'll keep going. Remove that. And then keywords. Right. Why doesn't it like this Umbraco field? Are you missing an assembly reference? I don't know, am I? It's been working everywhere else. Is this a real error or is this just moaning at me? What if I close it and then reopen it? Have I missed out a reference? I don't know. It's not got any red lines now. Maybe they'll come back. Yes, they are doing. Have they come back for good? Give it a chance to resolve. No, it doesn't like it. So, what have I done wrong? Let's go and have a look at, say, the footer. And in the footer, I've used Umbraco.field as well. And it's coming from an Umbraco helper. So maybe I need Umbraco web models in there. Maybe it's just as simple as using that, I don't know. It probably won't be a problem, so we can try it out. Anyway, let's go to call that from all of the pages. So we're going to the web base and we just want to call that partial. So where we've got this partial here about the footer, in the head we want to do one for that as well. So render partial, and then we're going to just call out metadata. And then on the front end, we'll give it a refresh. and we'll find that it is a problem, and I won't know what the answer is. But yeah, it's a problem. Can't implicitly convert system.web.html to string. Wow. Sorry about that. Oh, it's because I'm trying to render it there. What an idiot. So yeah, silly me. So, no, I don't want to enable that. So what I was doing wrong there is I was trying to set this as a value within the code part rather than just using it, because it's coming back as an iHTML string rather than just a string. So let's just get on to using it straight away. So we just need to go meta name equals that. And then, well, actually, meta name equals name and value or content. I'll just check. Let's just check on codeshare.co.uk. Let's just copy these three and replace them. So Umbraco field meta name. So let's just get that, paste that in there, and put an @ sign in front of it. And do the same for the others. That one will be meta description, and then we'll have one for meta keywords as well. Remove all that. So it's very simple, and we've not put the alt fallback. Basically, you know how I said about the page name. So we need to say, and if it's not there, then we need to use the page name. So let's have a look what the page name is called in here. So I don't know if I may have done this already. I think I did. So if we go, say, into home, and we wanted to get the page name, we'll do insert value, and then we look down here and we look for standard fields page name. So I can use that value in here now. So I can do alt field alias and then page name like that. So if I don't have a meta name, I'll at least have something, because I've always got to have a page name. Same for meta description. Is it the same for keywords? I'm going to leave that up because it may as well just be blank. If you've not put any keywords in, you haven't, that's your fault. So let's see if it renders, see if we've got an error again. I don't think I should have an error this time. Fingers crossed. Right, so did we put anything on this page in there? Let's have a look. View page source, name home, and system.string. Do I need an alt value? Oh, alt text. I'm just going to say like that. So then if we refresh and view the source again, oh no, it's still got a system.string. Interesting. Have I got the right property value? Meta keywords. Umbraco field meta keywords. Wonder what it is. Well, is it because it's coming from the tags? Oh no, look at this. Is it using a string array? So it's slightly different. So how did I get it on CodeShare? That's the question. Meta keywords, let's just use that. And then what I can do on here, I can just put this in here. I can do open, because I'm going to do some logic like an inline if. Where it's got, I'll wrap it with these rounded brackets. And then where it's got current page, I'll do umbraco.assigned content item. That will resolve those problems with current page. Shouldn't really use current page anymore. Definitely shouldn't use So if it's got that value, then I'll do .get property value string. No, it's not just a string, it's actually a string array. Meta keywords. And then we'll take off this. But with a string array, I'm sure we can just do .toString on the end, and that puts them all together. What's it complaining for now? Oh, I don't know. Umbraco assign content item. I'm not sure why it's complaining. Let's give it a refresh and just see. No. It's missing a closing bracket somewhere. Oh, I've got that extra speech mark. That's why. Give it a refresh. Now it's moaning again. It still expects one. Don't know where. Let's just see what I've done wrong. So, here we go. So I put one around that totally and closed it off there. We've got, that was annoying. So we had a semicolon there, which we shouldn't have had a semicolon. So this bit of code here is just saying from basically the related content page for this view, has it got a meta keywords property? Yep, okay, if it has, get the value back as a string array, which is what it is, and then do a toString on that to put them all together. Now it might be rubbish actually, because you might find that it doesn't have the comma separated. So we might have to do a string.join. But let's have a look. And if it doesn't have a value, well, just give me the name. Refresh the page. So the page doesn't fail anymore, but what we'll probably find is we've got home. So let's go into the content and go into home, that's fine, and go into metadata. So we say I love lashes, eyelash extensions training. Save and publish. Refresh. View the page source, and what do we have? A string array again. Great. So this isn't going well. So I'm going to do the string.join. Oops. So I'll just do string.join, and I'll say what the separator is. So the separator is going to be a comma, and then the object to join is going to be that. Fingers crossed that will work. If it doesn't, I'm all out. I'm all out of ideas. Yeah, so that's worked. So that string.join worked, and I gave it the array of strings. Because instead of it, in the old days with the Umbraco websites, it used to store that value, I believe, as a comma separated string, and now I think it stores it as an actual array. So that's done it then. So we've got the news, we've got SEO on our website. So if you want to do that for your website, you just go through all the pages, make sure they have the relevant. Well, if we look on CodeShare, I'll show you. So say if I go to this one here, and view page source. So this one gets good search engine optimization. It's always, people are always going to this post. So I've got my name, 10 golden rules for becoming a better programmer, description there, and the keywords, golden rules, programming better, blah, blah, blah. So if you search that on Google, it should come up. So yeah, just make sure you populate your pages with it. So I think let's leave it at that. We've done what we set out to do and a little bit more with the SEO. So now this site's really coming on. In the next episode, I'm going to get going on this block here, and then I think that's all the elements really. Once we've done that, then I can look at maybe seeing what we need to do for the next stage of testing, putting it onto the test site, passing that over to my friend Megan so she can try it out, see what she thinks, add some content, see if she has any problems, and then just take it from there. And then maybe there might be some other templates to do and things like that, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. But when it comes to deploying it, I'll do a video on the tests. When I deploy the test site, I'll do a video for that. The live will be pretty much the same, but it will just be with a different configuration for live. Yeah, so this is good. We've moved on. I've got really one more video to do in terms of the elements on this. And if you want to see what this looks like on the actual main site, if you go to codeshare.co.uk/pixelarity, and then this is a demo of it. Oh, sorry, codeshare.co.uk/reflex. That's it. Close that menu. So this was the demo one with demo images and things like that. So we've made all of this content managed, which is good. And then next we'll be working on this image here. That's got like a fixed background image to give us sort of parallax effects. Not exactly a parallax image, but yeah, we'll be working on that one next. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you're enjoying this series. Don't forget I did another series as well, series 1. If you've enjoyed this one, you might enjoy going to that one. I've tried to make it slightly different as well. Yeah, please click on like, subscribe to my channel so you can get the next video as soon as it comes out. And yeah, feel free to comment as well. I'll try to reply to all the comments. So thanks a lot for watching. All right, bye.